Hey, it's a recap. It's a recap of the sports that happened on Tuesday night. We've got basketball, NBA. We've got hockey. We've got college basketball. Those are the three we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about today's Benjamin, the wager of the day, and what happened. And we're going to end with a lot of talk about college basketball, which has a very interesting day as well. So let's start with NBA down here. So this was a round robin ticket ahead for $57 with these six picks. And I'll start with basketball because basketball is just finishing up right now. The Detroit-Portland game is like less than a minute left. So we're going with the score that's in there right now that Portland covers against Detroit. So the pick of the day was Golden State because I had them on here as an underdog. They, of course, lose. Anything that comes out of my mouth, 96 to 104, algorithm totally wrong. They made it close in the fourth, and then it got bad. So, all right, well, that's what happens, I guess. 3-2 winning here. Now, here's something called spread cover, which is interesting. If the spread cover is positive, then this needs to be a green win for it to be a win that they covered the spread based on the point projection. If this is negative right here, then that means this is supposed to say loss. We're supposed to say this team over here is covering the other side of the spread. And in this case, these two games, the Knicks and Memphis, did cover the other sides of their spread. And Knicks +7 apparently wins because they only lost by 2. And Memphis actually wins the game outright at Toronto. You can see injuries on Toronto. But the Lakers have injuries, yet still come back and win after being down early. So I don't know, basketball, whatever we're learning here. So when it comes to the round robin bet, this ended up being a loss. It's the last loss, but it was a loss. Now, hockey, which we'll talk about next, started off pretty nice. Underdog San Jose wins. The over, they get like 9 goals in this game when Florida comes back and beats Washington. Washington was up like 4-1. Tampa Bay blows a 3-0 lead and loses in a shootout. Arizona never had a chance. That was a never had a chance pick that didn't happen. And Columbus, the number one pick of the day, never had a chance. So look at this whole ticket getting destroyed, right? If you look at the NHL algorithm here, what that looks like in the games, and we also had Detroit-Boston here, the algorithm does not have a good day. Anaheim game's still going on right now. It's 2-1 Anaheim going into the third, I believe. Looking at it on the phone right here. It's 3-1 Anaheim now. All right, Anaheim. So this will probably be a win if this holds on. Dare I type it in before the game's over. But in that case, still only less than even day. A lot of losses. So hockey's tough today, and it's reflected in this pick, which had chance. If Tampa Bay had won, you get they lose a close one, you would have got half your money back. But man, Columbus, number one pick of the day. I mean, where was that on the list, right? Like, look at that. Columbus, for some reason, has loved it over Nashville. 5-1, they lose 6-0. I mean, could not be more wrong. Look at how those colors are completely inverted and checkered. That is algorithm getting destroyed. I just say that's hockey. I don't even worry about it anymore. I'm like, that's hockey. Okay, that's hockey. All right, so that is hockey. So now let's talk about college basketball. So college basketball is really interesting. So we lined up with a pick of some home favorites: Greensboro, NCAAM, Army, College of Charleston. Home favorites that really almost win a very, very high percentage of the time. Over 90% of the time, I feel like they win. And so went with those, and then a couple of underdogs. And here is what the college basketball algorithm looks like for today at no home bump is 27-9. And I mean, just look at this. Home teams, right? 20-2, and what sticks out as an eyesore is a lost freaking Army. I mean, how do I do it? It's like I said it was the pick of the day, and they, of course, get crushed, right? By a team that I called. Anytime I say a team sucks, they show me up that night. I had Scott Wedgwood, the goaltender at Arizona, got the first win for Arizona because I called him out the day. I mean, if I say it, man, Army was supposed to crush them. Army doesn't get there. They outscore completely out of their zone. I mean, talk about just smacking the algorithm around. CM was like, screw your algorithm. We will show you. And they did. So that happened. That sucks. And then, of course, The other pick I talked about, which was Towson, right? Because it had the good line. Where's Towson? Howard. Sorry, I keep confusing Howard and Towson. Howard, they were close. They did cover. I said, really what you're supposed to do on this round robin is you're supposed to take Howard plus 4.5, which covers and wins. I'm going to show you the difference between the two. It would be at minus 110. But we'll keep that in mind that we could have done something with Howard, and we didn't. And it's a lesson about wagering, which is on round robins, you need to pick winners, okay? So what happens here is Howard loses on the road. Close, but loses. And Army somehow loses. This kills you here. And St. Louis wins, actually, on the road. Fought and won late. So you don't win any money here. You lose money. But had you done what you were supposed to do, which is take them plus the points, and you could have done the same thing with St. Louis. But if you just done it with them at minus 110, you get a win here. And your payout is a nice almost 2-1. So that is bad wagering on a round robin. And I know this rule, and you've heard me say it in other videos where I'm like, you take the team with the points on a round robin because you need to have wins. Didn't do it, and that sticks out like an eyesore as something you should have had as a win, right? So can't do anything about Army for some reason. But look at us, just 24-12 on the spread, 27-9. Gross. And now our underdogs. And what about the challenge? I almost want to remove the challenge games. Let's remove the challenge games. Our underdogs are 2-3. I don't know if I want to remove them or not. Hold on a second. So our underdogs we had at no home bump, we had these low away teams that all lost. Northwestern took that to overtime, though. And Longwood covered. It's a little closer than people thought. So that's not a bad pick. And Northwestern, I won't call that a bad pick, taking them to overtime. And they were a strong team, so is Wake. So I'm okay losing Northwestern. North Dakota State, I think, was a pretty big loss. They got crushed, so that's really wrong. St. Louis wins. Texas State, where I said to cut it off, wins. And Howard almost wins and at least covers. That's good right there for your underdogs. All the underdog margins above 10% covered their spread. That's a good thing to know. And then looking at home teams, I mean, wow. Was there anything bettable in here that we missed? I mean, they were all terrible lines. Except down here was okay. And I got some of them on the pick. I didn't take San Jose State for some reason because I thought the margin was too low. But, man, home teams are home teams, right? Like, see how they win? See how they win. Yep. I mean, we got this one. Got this one. I don't know. Yeah, it was 625 on Santa Clara. Didn't take Northeastern over Detroit. Didn't take. What else did I take? Army, of course. Oh, God, it's so sad. But you can see that San Jose State was missed. Northeastern was missed. East Carolina was missed. Somehow they beat Old. I would have been scared of that pick. But, I mean, wow, right? So home teams do that. Our picking of the Big Ten ACC Challenge games was mixed, as you'd think. Duke loses a tough one up a lot also. And this went to overtime. I understand. Okay, that's fine. The non-challenge games, 25-6, 22-9 on the spread. Gross. Good times. 19-2 on those games home. 6-4 away with 8-2 on the spread on the away games. Wow. Wow, with no home bump. Amazing. And if you bump this thing 5, it looks like you need to bump this thing 6% is what you need to do. You bump this thing 6%, you're 27-4. Only losing a couple big spread games up here on the spread, but winning everything, just somehow losing Army. It's very good. This is very, very good. Don't know why this new... I mean, there's almost nothing to dig through here. So this was a hell of a double overtime game also. It's good that they covered the spread. They deserved to cover something. That was a hell of a game. Following that. This is extremely good. Extremely good. 3. So everything with 29 and 7 on a 6% bump. So there are still advantages to a small home bump, but when the home bump is small like that, man, this algorithm is doing a really good job. All right, so go subscribe for December. If I'm going to be putting work like this, you can see there are benefits. I did not make money on my college basketball bet, but only because I didn't do this. And that's just a mistake. You can see it should have paid 2-1. It was talked about actually, but I make the bad decision. When it's not an amazing line, you can. I'm not going to get into the full-on betting discussion because I got a lot to do. But that's a mistake on my part. So let's learn our lesson and take the teams with the points when we have a large round robin of more than 3 teams, because as you can see, the drastic difference in payout. From a winner to a loser, from more than doubling your money to losing half, is the difference between going 4-2 and 5-1 on a round robin, which is why they're tough. But we play them because we have such an advantage in terms of picking just a wide variety of games with such informed, stats, and that you can hit 7 the way we do it. I mean, look at how many times you could have hit 7 if you tried. There's 7. Nope. You would have hit the next 7 though. Yep. And then you would have, hit 7 out of the last 8. So going for 5s and 6s and stuff, you can't help but hit in runs like this. And that's without the bump. I mean, whatever. All right. Good luck, everyone. We'll be back. I'll be on the road doing videos from all over the place coming up real soon. All right. Take it easy. Mail your picks, me money.